Okay, so tonight, playing cars. So I'll start with explaining what. Actually, I'll start with finding that clip I just dropped on the ground.
Over there.
Where?
Over there. Right
okay.
there.
Yep, cool. We got it. Righto. Okay, so what we're doing is disc brake conversion on a RT40 Corona, so 1967 model Corona, which is what this is. So they call them a shovel nose Corona. Ta-da! It looks extremely bad, but honestly, it's not actually. If you have a look down the sides and that, like, it's not rusted out all through the guards. The sills are solid. The doors are solid. You've got a little bit here, but it's still not. There's still not holes. See, around the wheel arches are good. It does have rust. I'm not saying it doesn't have rust, but it's a pretty solid thing. So during the day today, I have been shooting another video for the conversion. Okay, but tonight I'll answer some questions and I'll work away. Nicole's here with me tonight, my wife, because this is her car. Nicole, her first car was one of these. I've been looking for one of these for 5 or 6 years now, believe it or not. I've come across probably 5. They've all been extremely rusty and no good, but this thing's actually pretty good. It actually runs all right. So what we've discovered today, okay, is the rear brakes, because it does run and it does drive. Okay, so the clutch works, the motor runs, but the front brakes were pulled apart. The rear brakes, when we pulled this apart today, they've started on doing the brakes because it's got new rear wheel cylinders, new pads, and the drums aren't scored and it looks like they've been machined. So you'll see in the other video, we went through the process of measuring diffs to see if we're going to put a late model diff in, but both sides are actually in quite good shape. So I don't think we're going to replace the diffs. I will try and sort out some backing plates because someone's made a mess of them with a screwdriver, but yeah. But the front was pulled apart. In the car, it come with new wheel cylinders and pads and stuff. So it's drum brake front being a 67 model, which is what this is. Your pads go on here, wheel cylinder sits up here, and all the rest of it. So tonight I'm going to drop the stub axle, which is what this is. Okay, so that's a 67 model. The front end from a 67 model is the same as a 77 model. Okay, so that stub axle there, okay, that's the other side. That stub axle there is exactly the same as that one there. So the same ball joints work with it. The steering arm lands at the same spot. That goes on, same ball joint, and basically your caliper bolts on here and you end up with disc brakes. So my plan is I'm going to put this together without replacing ball joints or anything, because I can take all the wishbones off this car. The wishbones are these. So they look like a wishbone you get from a chicken. Sorry about the lighting, but yeah, take these off. I'm going to paint all these, clean them up, new ball joints top and bottom. It's $150 for 50mm lowered springs and ball joints and shocks. So I'm going to replace 50mm lowered in that car, new shocks, replace the ball joints and all the rest of it. So these are, and I'll do sway bar, bushes and everything. But for now, we're just going to get it put back together. This is called a drag link. Okay, so this is a drag link. This sits up underneath the car for your steering. Okay, that's your steering box. That goes up and connects to the steering wheel.
Where is it?
That one there. That's a not a pitman arm, a idler. No, that is a pitman arm. Okay, which goes onto your steering box. So that's an idler arm because it just sits there idle on the other side, and that there goes to that like that, and that connects to your and steers. So that, and that's a tire. Anyway, this has all been replaced. These are new. That's new. You can see it's been replaced recently. The only thing that needs to be replaced is that idler arm bush, because on this car it's actually quite worn. You'll notice when I turn, if you listen and watch, it's very notchy, but just in here. probably can't see, but if you can hear that, that's actually that idler arm where I said I'm going to replace that bush. That's the piece that's actually shot. So, but we're going to drop all that out today anyway. We're going to drop this out and get our other stubs on there, get our calipers lined up. I've removed, because we're going from drum to disc, you need a different master and you need a booster. The booster gives you vacuum to give you a better pedal, and then you need proportioning valves to make sure that the right proportion of brake fluid goes to the front discs and to the rear drums. If you don't have that, it will just lock brakes up. So I've pulled them out as well of this car, so we'll end up taking the brake lines out. The proportioning valves, which are these, I'll buy new ones though. So this one's the one for the front, which that's really only a joiner, that one, to join the two brakes together. But this one here is for your rear brakes. The line goes from your master into here before it goes to your rear brakes, and it actually holds pressure so you don't lose pressure to your brakes. But anyway, the handbrake cables have been cut on that car, but we'll get ones out of this car. A bit of mix and match, but I'm very lucky that this wreck turned up a week or so ago before I found this one, and it just so happened by pure chance that it all matches and works. So I spent the afternoon pulling that apart. We'll get the rest of that apart. So that's the brake booster that was in this car, but you'll see, you'll see oil coming out of there, okay, because the master cylinder has actually leaked into here and filled that full of brake fluid, but that's not the one we're going to use. This one here come out of a later model Corolla, about an 80s Corolla that's out the front, but I needed this spacer off this car and then the booster off the other Corolla to space that out to fit the clutch. I hope all that makes sense. As we run through things, it will make sense. But I know that was a lot of information. But that's in a very short space of time. But that's where we're at. Brakes off this one, onto this one, 77, same as 67, away you go. And just so you know, if I ask a question, they're usually the response I get. I have no idea what he's talking about. But anyway, we have over 50 people on at the moment, so hello, hey everybody. And Toking has already made a super chat. Thank you. $50. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And I've got to say too, a couple of videos back, I was going off about, I was just thinking about, hang on. I've got to say thank you to everyone for restraining from silly comments and stuff like that, because it does drive me mental. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the new subscribers too. For some reason... and we have people from Newcastle, we have people from New Zealand, we have people from Melbourne, we have people from all over. And that silver Falcon over there that I bought today comes with a side mount... Oh. Can't even see it. I'm too short, sorry. Okay, so this week, the videos are coming. You'll see stuff, guys. Hey, Sydney. Two-door Escort, come in, Mark 1. I've been looking for one for years, and believe it or not, it's not rusted out. Someone pulled the windscreens out years ago and it probably saved the car, which is awesome. Nicole has new BDS wheels, or reps anyway. That was my birthday present. I didn't ask for them, but that's what I got. You're getting a video about this thing very soon. We've got someone from Canberra. Hey, Christopher, first time here, welcome. G'day, and mate, hey, from Tasmania. New Zealand's here as well. Welcome, everyone. Yep. This car here, now supposedly it's about 400 horsepower. I don't think it is, because it's only got a 2.5-inch exhaust system. So a single 2.5-inch exhaust system, and that's not really going to support that sort of horsepower. But it's got cams, it's got a piggyback ignition, but it comes with a side mount supercharger, which is what I actually wanted. So yeah, really looking forward to playing with that. What is that? It's a Falcon. I actually bought, this is going to sound bloody ridiculous, but you guys will remember I bought an XR8 and another Falcon. I actually bought it for those headrests, but then the bonus was the supercharger and the rest of it. But I needed the headrests and I needed a bonnet for another car. So, but anyway, there's been a lot going on. There's another heap of cars over there that I've bought. You'll see those videos coming up. I have been editing. I've got about 3 videos there in the lineup to get done. But Nicole's car, well, Nicole's first car was one of these RT40s. The shovel nose Coronas, so I'm pretty keen to get this thing going. Like, I have driven it, but it's got no brakes. And there was no point just putting the drum brakes back on. I don't know, just trying to a piece from here and a piece from there, you know. and get it together. And just very lucky that everything matches from that. So, yeah.
Dallas Step toe, $5 super chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The support is very appreciated, and I have to reiterate. I'll show you the supercharger first. Thank you for the support, everyone. Hello to all the new subscribers. I go off on crazy man rants occasionally because people annoy me, but what do you do? What do you do? So that's it there. So it's a Powerdyne 910, I think it is, but it's still in good shape. It still works. They built the motor, so built bottom end. The guy said that cylinder 6 went, but cylinder 1 is oily, so I don't think he knew what he was talking about. But anyway, I'm guessing with the way that they had it set up that it leaned out, just from what we can see of the way it was built. But anyway, it'll be a good one to play with down the track. I'm looking forward to that. And at least it's a supercharger to the bonnet, so I won't end up in court again. So, yeah, righto. We might, righto. I'm going to start dropping this stub axle out, and we will. I've been going through taking out split pins and stuff like that. So we'll drop this. I'll show you guys one of the things that I know a lot of people struggle with is splitting ball joints. Okay, so hang on. So what I'm going to do, these are the ball joints, top and bottom, which hold your 2 wishbones. For you guys that know what I'm talking about, sorry I'll repeat myself, but it's the young blokes that we're trying to pass some of this information on to. Okay, so you undo, most cars wouldn't have the ball joint at the bottom here, it'd be pointing upways, and you'd undo it here. These changed, I think, after these ones, they changed to a normal ball joint system where it actually sat on the top. But, so you undo that, but you don't undo it all the way, okay? So see, there's your hole there for your split pin. We'll screw that back on and we leave 10 mil or so there. We'll undo the top one as well. Do the same thing, leave 10 mil or so. And we're going to do the same thing with our tie rod. So right here is our tie rod, okay, which is your steering arm that goes through. And of course my phone's going to ring. This is my daughter. I wouldn't answer this to anyone else. We're just live on YouTube, mate. What's happening? We're over at the workshop, both of us. What's happening? Okay, we're live on YouTube. If you need us, we'll talk to you later on, okay? You right? Okay, love you. See you. Bye. Talk to you now. Bye. Doesn't listen, keeps talking like a child, but anyway, that was Neroli. If she had have answered her phone to her mum earlier, she would have known what was going on, I suppose, wouldn't she?
That's exactly right.
Righto, so I'll get Nicole to step back a little bit. So, and what you do, okay, so you can see, we'll split this one first. Now these ball joints, the tie rods, are exactly the same. They're a press fit, a tapered fit. So it goes up into a thing that's tapered and then it squishes in. So all you have to do is in theory, smash it that way. But so you never hit it on the top, you never hit it on the bottom, you just hit it on the side here and it'll drop out. Like that. Okay, so everyone saw that dropped. Okay, and that way we haven't destroyed that thread, we haven't destroyed the ball joint at the bottom here or anything. Okay, so that just pops out like that. Now, I've left the shock absorber in here because of the way, I've left the shock in there because of the way these are designed with it at the bottom. Normally the shock would be out, but I'm going to leave the shock in there because it's actually going to catch it. Otherwise, the spring would almost kill us when we pop it open, okay? And then I'm going to use a jack later to get it up the other way. So you do it exactly the same way. I'm just going to find my right spot to hit it on, which would be at the back face. So you don't really want to hit it on the side here. You don't want to hit it here. You want to hit it from sort of as far back here as you can. okay, and it'll pop. But you just got to make sure that that's not going to break and kill me, because if that pops, then I'm rooted. Righto, see that one pop? Same way. So that's popped. Now I'm going to pop this bottom one, and it's going to be violent.
Okay, ready.
So what I might actually do is I'll undo that now, and then there'll be no pressure on that at all. So you're right. Yep. We got any questions there, Nicole?
Not that I could see. I'll just get out of the way because
Yep. Just jump back a bit and I'll.
Yeah.
It won't hurt you that.
No, just the lights were shining in it, so I'm just looking at comments now.
There we go.
It's off.
Yep.
Can't get it.
Okay, so did all that make sense to everyone on how to split a ball joint? That can be some of the... Because if you start smashing on those threads, well, that ball joint there is actually in quite good shape. I think the boot's broken though. I am going to pull all them out of that other car though and paint them all and replace all the bushings and stuff. This one's still pretty tight. It's not too bad. I'll drop this one here now. We got any questions?
I can't get the comments to come up.
Turn it on. Oh, hang on.
No, just...
Yep, press that.
No.
No, inside
right.
there.
No. Hang on, just...
Nicole will work it out in a sec, guys.
Someone give me a thumbs up and then I'll be able to see the comments.
I'll drop this while Nicole does that. In theory. There we go.
Lynn would like to know why you didn't use a trans jack under the spring.
Because there's no need to. I would have done that if it wasn't going to hold itself there, like the shock absorber is holding itself there. To put it back together, I'll probably either use the transmission jack or a jack with a pole to put it back together. But because the shock was holding it all together, I'm going to be replacing the shock. So it's not, if the shock's been damaged now, it doesn't matter because it's all going to be replaced. For now, what I'm doing is doing a first fit up, making sure that all the lines fit, working out where the proportioning valves are going to go, making sure where I put the booster clears the clutch master. First fit up, like I've never done one of these disc brake conversions on a Corona before. I've actually never ever worked on a Corona before, ever. So, yeah. All right, so that one's off.
Nikki Young said it'd make a good rat rod. Make a good rat rod.
It would make a good rat rod, but the paint's gone too far. If you have a look, see here, see all that crazing there? That pink stuff is actually spray putty, and it's crazed over the whole car, so it's going to have to be painted. But if you have a look under here, like I'll lift it up in a minute. I'll just get this on so you can see what I've been talking about.
Ben Arnold done a super chat. Thank you, Ben Arnold.
Thanks, Ben. You're a legend, dude. Righto. So then that one slips onto there like that. In theory, that ball joint's rooted too, so I'm gonna have to replace all of them, which is good and fine. And then I'll get me jack and we will jack that up and hope it doesn't push up off the hoist. So we'll just have to take it easy. But anyway.
No other questions that I could see.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this thing. It ran so well. It's got a 1.5 litre engine in it. All this is in, there's a video of getting the car, which is getting edited now. And there's a video from today that's not a live. A lot of people don't like the live streams, but I just thought we'd catch up and say hello. It's been a while since we've done one. It explains more of pulling the two cars apart, which parts are interchangeable, looking at the diff widths and all that sort of stuff. So, righto, transmission jack. Where is it? Hello? I'll be back in a second. It's here somewhere.
Mr. Jack says he loves the lives.
I enjoy them too. I honestly, guys.
Hey Ben, how you going?
I'm honestly extremely grumpy. Nah,
Yes, he is.
I struggle with the comments, but as I've said this before, I can't find the transmission jack. It must be here somewhere, but I struggle, guys. I really do, and yeah, I work a lot, and
He's not a people person.
yeah, you reckon?
Grumpy old man. Kingatow edition.
Yeah, I do the best I can, and at times it's not really good enough, but
We're all grumpy old men.
it's good, isn't it? I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, no, I don't know. I just honestly, it's been very, very hard and stressful putting together. What I go through. Richard Hammond, you know, of Top Gear, he's got a new show called Hammond's Garage or whatever. There's actually 2 episodes at the moment up on YouTube, and they actually start talking about the cost that you run into setting up something like what I'm doing here, and it's expensive, like big time. But we're getting there, guys. We are getting very, very close to the end goal.
Dallas Steptoe says, how good is the Hammond show? Like, yeah, he obviously loves it too.
Yeah, it was awesome, eh?
Yeah.
Like, they actually go into it. And there's another show called... So what I'm doing here, I'm jacking that up so I can get this ball joint together. But I've got to watch also that the car doesn't lift off the hoist. So I've got to hope that that spring... This is why you lower your cars, because then it'd be easier to put it back together with a 50mm lowered spring. But yeah, see, okay, so I can almost get that.
Now lifting off the, starting to,
Yep,
yeah.
we're there. Okay,
Yep.
so I can get a nut on that now, if I can find where I put it. Yeah, but on that Hammond show, they actually go through and explain the costing and what it's costing him to actually put the workshop together. Because I'm telling you now, it does. It cost me a fortune, eh? All right. We have one disc brake Corona. There you go. All right. I'm not going to put that new drag link and stuff on. I'm going to put this old one on so we can, because I want to drive the car. Like, once I've got these brakes working, I can actually, we can. Nicole can have her first drive of the car.
I'm so excited.
And yeah, and while I've put all this together now, I can pull that stub axle off again. And when that comes off next time, I'll have brand new springs for it, a 50mm lowered, new shocks. The wishbones will be all painted and happening. But for now, I've just got to make sure that my plan is going to work. Because at this point, I'm just running off what people are telling me online that it works, and I don't know. So, but we all know now, don't we? Because we just watched it all happen. Okay, righto. So that's one side. I'll grab the caliper now. I did undo on one of them the arm. It wasn't this one, it was the other one. Righto, so the caliper can go back on there. Someone had spent money on this car out here recently because it actually has new pads. There's actually quite new brake pads in here, so there's a lot of meat left on these. And on the diff, they've replaced the brake lines on the diff. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to use those brake lines. They do look a bit dodgy. But, you know what I should have done? Oh, what I'll actually do before I pull the next one off is we'll take a measurement from this face back to somewhere to see if our distancing is going to be the same, to see if it actually changes. We can probably put the 2 stubs together because I've got one off now. I don't know, we'll work that out now. That way we'll know whether we need different wheels or what offset we're going to be able to run. So Yeah. Righto. Anyone I think I knew what I was doing? Don't be fooled. Righto. So, have you guys been enjoying the wreck removal stuff, like the cars that I've found lately? I've been pretty happy. It's been crazy, the stuff that's been turning up. I'm pretty excited about my XY and the Escort. Like, I've been looking for one of those two-door Escorts for so long. And yeah, finally one's turned up. Have any of you guys got an RT40 Corona? There's a good question. Is anyone new here just to see the Corona stuff? Is anyone building one? Are you here to see the disc brake conversion because you've been thinking about it? I've been thinking about it. I drive myself crazy with all this stuff, guys, honestly. But yeah, this is going to be, like, we're not putting big horsepower, but we are putting our children in it. So, yeah. And we're putting our Nicole in it. So, yeah. All right. All right. I'm not going to do, that's the brake line there, okay? That's got to get swapped out with this one, which is your old drum brake one. I know how much of a pain in the arse that is to undo up in there and do the brake line. So the next thing is that brake line, and I've got to change out that brake line there. Hang on, I'll get this light. So up in here, okay, that's your brake line that goes up to your master. I've still got to fit the booster and master. That one there has got to be replaced out, and that goes into there. And that brake line there gets swapped out to go to our splitter. This may have the same splitter as the other. Yes, it does. This one's got a very, oh no it doesn't. This has got a 4-way splitter because it's drum brakes all round. So this runs a 4-way splitter. The disc brake one runs a 2-way splitter. Yeah, so it does have to be replaced, but I've got that part over there. I'm actually gonna buy new ones because it had been pulled apart and it was sitting and it had a lot of dirt and shit in it. But those little fittings, I think a Master's 130 bucks. The booster I've got should be good. It's gonna be about $500 all up. Springs, shocks, ball joints, sway bar bushes, the diverter for the rear brakes, the front brakes, about 500 bucks to do the front end, and yeah, a full disc brake conversion, which is pretty cheap, really. Like, I'm used to with big Holdens and stuff like that, that'd be 1,500, 2 grand. This thing's cheap, but I'm cheap, so it's good. Righto, I'm gonna find a tape measure, and we're going to have a measure do you understand what I mean? I've changed all this now, and if the wheel is the wrong offset, the standard offset will stick out too far. So I'm gonna measure from this face now, it's on here. It should be the same, it's the same front end. But the wheels will be a different offset, I don't know. Hang on, I'm going to tape measure. There we go. Here's one I prepared earlier. See how prepared I am? You thought I was hopeless, didn't you? So we're going to pick a spot from the body back there. I'll just sit there to that face there. Near enough is good enough on this one. We'll go to that backing plate there because that'll be the same. So it's 350. No, that doesn't work. We want it to go to that face. I need a ruler or something. That. Any more questions, Nicole?
No, nothing. They're all gone quiet.
Everyone's quiet tonight?
No. They were chit-chatting amongst themselves there for a moment.
Okay, all right. As long as you're enjoying yourself, guys, that's all that really matters. Okay, so from that face there to that face is about 350 mil, which will determine whether they're the same. So, all right, so I'm going to have to put the drum back on. There was no drum that come with it. So we don't actually know, do we? About the same, 350 mil, give or take, because that would have had another 3 mil on it. Yeah, so it's the same. So it's not going to alter our wheel offset by doing the disc brake conversion, which is good. All right, I might do this side. Sound like a plan? Right.
I'll just stand here and hold the camera.
You just hold the tail.
But I will need you to move that light because
I'll move some lights, guys.
We don't have our roadie crew yet to do all this.
When I knew I had to do this, like I don't get a lot of time to do a lot of work, but you know, to me, this is an interesting thing. Like what matches what and what interchanges, and I've got another car, and you know.
Someone did say that's the best way to build a car is from the parts that you've got.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
I get a lot of tears all the time from people about why have you got all these cars? Why have you got that? Why, you know, I haven't got one. Why have you got one? It's because I've got so many to build, and that piece of crap out there is going to turn this piece of crap into an awesome piece of crap. But yeah, it sort of all makes sense, and it all ties in together. You know, I don't know. You can't please everyone. I've really learnt that now. But so long as you guys, the ones that seem to be good and along for the ride, yeah.
Hopefully you can see where I'm pointing the camera. Okay. And
lately, guys, I've got to say, I really do have to say thank you again. Like the support's been awesome. For some reason, the views have gone up. Things seem good. The 300ZX goes up tomorrow for sale, 6 o'clock tomorrow or 6 o'clock tonight, I think. I was feeling a guy put up a comment that he'd give me $8 for it straight away. So the guy that said that, I set the reserve lower, so you'll still be able to buy that car at $8. So if you go into Grays, it was already down there, so you can't really back out of it, but you can still buy that car at that $8 mark. If it passes in, get in touch with me and we'll work something out for sure. Yeah. I'm not a big seller of my cars, but I'd like to just go and buy all the steelwork stuff. And that'll make sense when you see the 35 Studebaker video. Yeah, so it's all happening, guys. I'm hanging out, like it's gonna be great. What I'm trying to put together now, if you put it onto undo, it actually undoes heaps easier.
It's amazing that, hey?
Yeah, it's crazy how that works. Yeah, but I don't know. Oh, something different tonight. Torture your missus and kids with Red talking crap and playing with cars, eh? Yeah. It was good too that a few of you guys like my welding helmet idea. So we'll all have welding helmet collections. I was looking last night to buy my daughter Nerali a welding helmet because I want to encourage her to go down the path I went down as a young bloke with wrought iron furniture and stuff, making all that sort of stuff. So I'd love for her to be able to become a bit of an Instagram weirdo and post all this mad scroll work she's doing, and yeah, should be good. See, this drag link here is all average. You can see it's old and never been touched, and it's making that noise. I think that the steering box in the 77, this is the 67, this is the early one, is the same. So we'll end up with a tighter steering box, and I'm going to order these bushes tomorrow so I can put the new drag link in. And yeah, we'll get this all cleaned up. The interior in this is all right. I'll let it down once I get this done, and we'll have a look inside. I'll show you a bit more of the car. But I do have video of this coming. Yeah, anyway. All right, so we will go through this again. Okay, so splitting ball joints. Splitting ball joints is something that we have all struggled with, okay? I'll run through it again. You do not wind your nut to a point where you think, oh yeah, I can smash that nut now and not wreck the thread, because you're gonna wreck the thread. You never smash on there, on a nut, you never smash on the thread. You don't smash underneath. Where that comes round, it runs on a taper, okay, which means it goes up and down like that, and you hit here, right, until it pops. Jump that side. There you go. In theory, so that everyone see that pop.
Yep.
By hitting it, you can see the clean spot where I've hit it. So you want it, you don't sort of hit on the face here. You want it on that leading edge. So yeah, so and then our thread is perfect, and we haven't wrecked our tie rod ends. I got a pile of steering racks out there. We had some blokes working for us that were pulling steering racks out of Commodores and Falcons for the Speedway guys. Every single one of those threads was smashed, and I walked out and looked and just went, what the fuck? Like, did no one ever teach you? Yes, that's my own fault. I should have taught them myself, but I just assumed. Yeah, but anyway, it is what it is. So they all end up in the garbage anyway. Right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find out which way is the best one to get into it, which is probably this way, so I can get into the back of it from there. We're going to pop that again. Now, a guy did comment before, and it was a very well warranted comment, that normally you would try and put some pressure under here to hold it, but we've got the shock still in there holding it all together, and I'm going to be replacing that shock. You normally wouldn't put all that spring pressure onto your shock, but it's going to be replaced so it doesn't overly matter, and it will catch it and not kill us. So I'm going to try and split this top one. I'm going to hit my hand on that. I might try and do it from this side. There we go. I can get my hand in there now. No, I can't. It's not going to get it. It does work, believe it or not. Never ever been apart, that's the problem. There we go. Righto, do you see that drop, guys? So that's that. I'm going to undo that nut now, which will take all the pressure off from this one. And that'll pop a little bit, but is what it is. And then, yeah, I can... Righto. I'll put a pole under it just for safety reasons. Don't get used to it. No more questions tonight, Nicole?
No, they've all been very quiet.
Been very quiet tonight, guys.
We're still on, so...
Yeah, cool. How many have we got going on?
I've got 62 watching.
Okay. Righto. How many of you guys are new subscribers? Do you want to just... We'll play that girl raping game, that Me Too. Put up Me Too if you're not allowed to say that.
Just don't even go there.
No, not allowed to. No. Is that like how many genders? There's 14, isn't there? Toasters and like blocks of cheese. I identify it as a block of cheese. Or is that just because I smell like a block of cheese? Is it I smell like a block of cheese or identify as a block of cheese? I always get them mixed up. No?
I'm not playing a game with you.
Not playing my games?
No.
They can cancel me as much as they like because it doesn't actually matter. Righto, let's get us splitting. All right, so does everyone understand about splitting ball joints now? So now...
We don't hit the thread, we don't hit the nut, we hit it on the side.
Mad. So that means from now on, anyone involved with Kingatow crew has the best threads on their ball joints of anyone. You can have that wasp nest. We didn't want that. It will work. Trust me, I'm a doctor. There you go. Thought it was going to make a liar out of me for a minute. All right. Righto. Okay, so that's called a stub axle because, yeah. I don't know if anyone cares or not.
Just because, yeah.
Yeah, just is what it is. I know it seems crazy that I'm not putting all clean parts and stuff back on. that's simply due to the fact that all this is coming back apart again. But for now, I just want to make sure that it all works. That's the one I undone earlier. So I'm just going to find a nut and washer to put them back together. I thought I was going to go a different way in the beginning, back in 1965. But yeah. So did anyone end up having one of these Coronas at all?
No, no one said that they did.
No one's got one?
No.
It's only us that loves them, eh?
Oh, yeah. Because we're sad.
They're hard to find, eh? They're just not around.
I've been looking for one for ages. Not actively, just every now and again I'd have a look. Brennan became slightly obsessed a few months ago. Or actually a few years ago now. You've been looking for it, haven't you?
There's a lot of cars I've been searching for a long time, and this just happens to be one of them.
And we didn't actually have to drive too far to get this one.
Yeah, it was in Gympie. So last Saturday, Neroli and I and one of her friends went for a drive and picked her up, which was good.
He must have been excited because he was like on the road. It must have been still dark.
No, it wasn't that early.
It was early enough. Because I was away last weekend, so I was getting pictures of the road trip and then the car on the back.
Where's the rattle gun?
Over there on the tyre where you put it. You need a tray, drag tray around.
I'd undone these today because I was going to... There we go. Alright. Okay. So, nuts. There we go. Okay, to the bottom ball joint. In. There you go, top and bottom ball joint nuts are different sizes. Surely they're not. And that one fits there, so that's right. That does look larger, doesn't it? Did I put them?
I don't know where you put it.
Yes.
So what else have you got coming up?
What's that?
What other videos do you have coming up?
The next one to go, I've got another one. I've modified all the speedo and stuff in the Jag. So it's got all new speedo and stuff. I got the Jag back today. It got the air conditioning finished off. I can't make up air conditioning lines, the high pressure lines and stuff. So it went into Kingatow Auto Electrics. I got that back this morning. So there's a video of that, the air conditioning, and also the speedo getting done. There's a video there of some more, I hate to call them wrecks, but wrecks that I've collected. There's the Studebaker and the Escort, getting them, and that'll show you all of them. They were pretty exciting to me, to be honest, getting that Escort I'm pretty happy with. He didn't want to sell it to me, or his dad doesn't sell stuff, and I bought 2 VS Utes to put into my collection, and these guys are pretty hardcore Holden guys, and on an off chance I said, oh, would you be keen to swap maybe for a couple of VS Utes that I'd bought off another mate? And
Do you want me to do that?
I'm going to move it. And he goes, oh yeah, for sure, because he was actually looking for some for his young bloke to build a Ute for him, so it actually worked out quite well. Me having those Utes coming in, I end up with the Escort, which has been great. But now that I've got a Mark II and I was looking at pictures, I sort of now, I'm in a Mark I, now I sort of want a Mark II.
Oh, God.
So...
It's like the line just keeps moving, guys. The line just keeps moving.
Oh, well.
We're going to have to get another yard at this rate.
Yeah, right. Sounds good. Righto, so that's just high enough. There we go. We can get that nut on now.
Turn that a bit.
Yeah, hang on. All right. Just want to get it on it. Okay, so we get that nut on there. Grab our rattle gun thing and tighten that up. And That'll take up the pressure. All right, I've got to go through and tighten these properly and line up the split pins and stuff like that. But for tonight, that'll be all right. Righto. Okay, caliper on.
Someone was saying that the shed looks really clean.
Leith actually spent most of the day cleaning up today, which was good. I planned on doing it myself today, but he actually cleaned up his mess for once, which was great. I make a lot of mess too, I can't just blame him.
You only have to look at our backyard to know that.
I mowed our lawn the other day, that never happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, righto, so caliper on. Is it the right way? Yep. So yeah.
So what were you holding back then, Red?
Huh?
What were you holding back when you were trying to put that on?
The brake pad.
Oh, okay.
Yep, the brake pad had slipped, so yeah. Oh shit, sorry.
Smack him in the head with the camera.
Bolts. They're over here still.
Down here?
I hope the lighting's alright, guys.
Yeah, it looks pretty clear.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's hard to
We'll just get there's some reflection from the lights when I do different angles, but there's not much you can do about that with night filming.
Cool. Yeah, so I don't know, it's another big step forward, getting the brakes semi-sorted out on this. It was undrivable before. So if I can get the master and stuff in and the booster working, I've got to order brake parts from here to get them working. So yeah, I was going to use the master and stuff off the Corolla, but the Corolla has all these remote bits and that, whereas if I stick to the 70s, replace the 67 Corolla stuff, it's a very simple conversion instead of complicating things. And I'm a pretty simple sort of guy. So, yeah. But, I don't know. No questions tonight, guys?
No, it's really quiet on the comments.
It's very quiet on the comments tonight, guys.
Unless our comments aren't active for some reason, that can happen with YouTube.
So there's no comments?
Nothing's coming up for me when I touch it. And I've touched all the buttons before you cut us off. He's a button pusher.
Can you see any comments at all?
They come up every now and again, but sometimes YouTube's comments for us, we can't see them,
Okay.
but they're still going. So if there are any questions that we have missed, we'll check them out a bit later. But the people are coming and going, and the amount of people are on is moving and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
If you are commenting, guys, and we're not seeing them, I'm sorry. We will do another live stream next week and make sure that comments are working. But yeah.
Oh, there we go. I just had someone say, "Hey Nicole, are you seeing this?" Yes, that came up. Thank you very much.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we've had. Hey mate, will the rear end be disc brakes also, or drums?
Okay, I'm going to run with drums on the back. The drums, at the beginning of this video, I showed that someone's already replaced the rear pads. They're new, and there's new wheel cylinders, and they're still in good condition. We're not putting any big horsepower into this car, so just it's going to run drums at the back, which, yeah, got to change different proportioning valves and stuff like that to be able to run disc at the front and drum at the back, but yeah, drummed.
Gibbsy said his grandfather had one of these when he was a kid. He's now 53, and they're an awesome little build. I'm 51, so yeah. Hey, do you have any 87 to 90 Mitsubishi Tritons?
87 to 90? No.
No.
No, I've got an early Triton, which is more, they're not a Triton actually, they're an L200 Duke, but no later model Tritons at all. Sorry.
Got a corona mid-corona pandemic.
That's it.
It's a little bit ironic, really, isn't it?
All right.
Is it vaccinated?
I'll need a vaccination after working on it, I can tell you that. Pretty germy Jackson, that's for sure. Righto, so put that back on.
Oh, someone had a fall off their motorbike into a fence. That's no way to ride your bike.
Righto. Okay, so
Hope you're all right.
where we're at now then, guys, is we've got disc brakes on the front. They're there. I've got to do the brake lines. What I'll do now is I'll let the car down and I'll give you a bit more of a look inside and what it is. And I'll show you what I'm going to do the booster. I'm not going to do the booster tonight because I don't have all the parts there and I'll rerun the lines. But I just thought this was an interesting one.
Rodney McRae said he had one as a kid.
Yep.
Yep.
Sweet. Was yours manual or auto, buddy?
Dallas told his missus the other week he now identifies as a waffle iron. Yeah, Brendan's quite often a toaster.
Yeah, or a block of cheese.
We're just on our mobile phones, Lynn. There's not much we can do about the graininess. It's just where we're at. We're out Western Queensland, so if there's a slight breeze, sometimes we get a little bit of grain happening.
Because we grow grain out here being farmers and all.
Yeah.
All right,
Rodney McRae is new and he's from Tasmania.
cool.
I'm just going back through the comments here.
Yep.
And Jack identifies as a camel. Is that a camel toe?
One
just a
humble two, buddy.
They're not, yeah.
I have a camel toe. Do you want to see it?
No, don't take your shoes off with your stinky feet.
This foot?
I don't know.
See, look, I have a camel toe. See just there?
There's a camel on his toe.
His head's worn off a little bit, but yeah, a camel toe, see?
Yeah.
So I identify as a camel toe.
You're a weirdo. I question my
I identify as someone with really dirty socks now.
Boss Life his name is James and he's from New Zealand. He says, hey, how you going?
G'day mate, how are you?
Dallas is in hysterics. He's put smiley, laughing faces up. And yeah, no worries there. Sometimes it can be a little bit grainy, but yeah.
Even when I connect to the
Wi-Fi
here,
it's just where it just
grainy.
it's just where we are.
It's one of those things where, you know.
It's a brand new Samsung phone, so yeah.
There's me gearbox jack there.
Where?
There. Don't need it now, but yeah. I'm just looking for another power lead for another voice. There you go.
What was the original colour of the Corona, Red? Do you know?
Would have been white, I'd say.
He thinks it might be white. I don't know if you can hear him all the way over there, but he thinks it might be white. Actually, there's yellow on the front here.
Where?
On the front bar, there's yellow.
I'll check the actually it's green on this one.
Yeah, there's green and there's also yellow just there. Look.
Oh yeah.
So it might have been yellow.
They did come out that colour and they did come out that colour. I like that yellow.
I reckon that's what colour we should go.
The yellow. Yeah.
What do you reckon, guys? Yellow? I've been told I'm not allowed to have it black.
No, it's too hard.
Too hard, apparently.
Way too hard, bastard.
All right. Are you going to stick to the original colour? Well, we're not sure what the original colour is. We have like a green and a yellow, which they did come out in that.
I'll check the paint code, but
yeah. We'll get back to you on that one.
I'm not doing an original restoration on it or anything like that.
No, just
I'm
drive it.
just going to have a clean and tidy, usable car.
Hayden Curtis says you can't beat yellow. Keep it white and crisp. Yeah, I don't know.
To me, white is the easiest way to go, like by far. But
the yellow looks pretty good on that.
Oh no, nothing underneath it. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm not too sure on colour yet. It's definitely getting a full paint job though, inside and out. I like the idea of a different colour roof, but not too sure. We'll get it going, get it driving. Has to have aircon.
My original one.
You want to speak up?
Yeah, I'm at the microphone.
Yeah.
My original one the one that I had first of all was like a candy apple, deep purple, bordering on navy blue, with a mother of pearl roof.
Definitely won't be purple.
No, I know. We had a discussion at the retreat about that because someone said, "Oh, you're going to paint it purple." I'm like, "I'm not allowed to paint any car purple because that instantly devalues your car."
It does. It turns it into a paint your car purple. It turns it into a Saab. It's a lifetime investment that you can never sell. All right, I'll grab a light. Oh, I'll grab a light and show you inside. Go to the back door there.
Back door.
You want to open the door. All right, so yeah, bench seat. The hood liner's in quite good shape, as you can see. Yeah, the dash is actually in really good condition.
Gibbsy says his grandfather's one was white with red interior. That sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I like the red interior. I'd love to go, no matter what colour we go, it's probably going to go a dark red interior. The dash is in quite good shape. The other chrome strips here for the front, which I was really worried about finding.
That light out there, Red's just reflecting and it's making it hard to see. Yep. Sorry, guys. We've got no crew here tonight.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff is there for it. So, yeah. They're a pretty cool car. Like Nicole was saying that when she first got hers, they couldn't find the indicators anywhere, and the indicators are actually on the steering wheel there. That's how that clicks.
They're the indicators.
They're the indicators.
I bought it from we bought it, I paid like $350 or $450 back in the late 80s. I got it. I was living on the Southern Highlands of New South Wales, and in Bargo there was this little shonky dude that sold secondhand cars, and I bought it off him. And
his name Brendan?
Yeah, probably. We drove it out, and as we drove out, I couldn't find the blinkers and kept going, and then I ended up doing a U-turn, going back, asking the dude where the blinkers were. He didn't know where the blinkers were either. Didn't know anything about the car. Anyway, it took us about a week to find the blinkers, and the only reason I did was when I got out of the car, I leant on the steering wheel, and it moved. And it moved, and the blinker came on.
Everything seems to work. Like the bonnet up and shows. Everything seems to work. The motor, well, you'll see there's a video coming. We were very, very surprised when it started. The worst rust in it is here, the bonnet. I'll bend up some panels to repair that. The outer skin's good on it. It's just that. It runs really well. We've degreased, and it'll all be explained in the video anyway when it's edited. You'll see how I bought it and why I ended up being able to buy it. Because in the photos it was atrocious. Like they poured oil and fish oil all over it 10 years ago, and it was just absolutely putrid. So it just sort of was no one wanted it because it looked bad. But I didn't get it cheap. I got it. It was pretty. Yeah, the price was what it was worth, really. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. So disc brake conversion on a pretty simple, really. I pulled that apart this afternoon, obviously, but goes together pretty easy. I've just got to do the brake lines, and there's a proper video that will be explain it all properly on spacing the booster out and changing the lines over and changing the proportioning valves for the rear brakes to hold pressure and stuff like that. There's all that in the other video. And so thank you everyone for the super chats and the support. Thank you for all the comments. Make sure you like, guys. It helps us in the algorithm.
We've got 44 likes, so that's pretty good.
Great stuff, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope this was helpful to people. I know that ball joint thing is a constant issue, like with us guys that do cars, because it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, I've got a long way to go on it, but piece by piece, maybe a few more live streams when I've got jobs to do, so I actually get it done after work. Will be good. So thank you for joining in, guys. Thanks for watching. There'll be another video go up the next day or so, and plenty more to come.
And if you haven't watched the latest video, it's up. Go and have a look.
Yeah, there's Gray's online one. The 300ZX goes live at the auctions if someone's keen to buy a 300ZX turbo. And yeah, it's a good filler job, that. Look at that. Righto. See you.